All right, let's talk some Green Bay Packers. Listen, this game was, if you look at the gambling odds, it seemed like it was a pick 'em for most of the week. No team was favored in this game. And given that it's in Green Bay, that typically means the majority of people feel the Rams are the better team in a neutral site. Well, they played really well, and the Packers are good. I mean, Packers continue to have success. The Packers are a good football team. In the NFC, it's kind of starting to look like it's a three-horse race between Green Bay, Arizona, and Tampa Bay, now that the Rams and the Cowboys have kind of been struggling a little bit. So, yeah, let's get into the film study. There's some really fun stuff, I thought. This video is going to be kind of about Rodgers, kind of about Matt LaFleur, honestly. I thought that he had a great game plan in this one. So, let's just get into the film study and talk about what the Packers did well. So, let's start things off with this one. This was a very fun play. I thought Troy Aikman did a good job breaking it down during the broadcast, but if you missed it, just sort of what happened. This was interesting. So, what's going to happen is you have 81 right there, the tight end for Green Bay, who's going to be running to the offense's left. He's in motion, and you see that a Rams player is following him. This isn't that big of a deal. Teams do this kind of stuff all the time. But what this is a big deal about is what's going to end up happening here. So 24 for the Rams, that's Taylor Rapp. He's a safety. And what he's going to do is he doesn't want to have to run all the way up in cover the edge right there. So what he's going to instead do is sort of sit in the middle and cover a closer guy, and everyone just shuffles one down, which some teams do, and it's not a horrible idea, I don't think. The issue is simply just who the personnel is. If all of your corners are relatively equal and all of the wide receivers you're going up against are relatively equal, like as in with each other, well then sure, do this, it makes sense. But when you're going up against Green Bay, they have a really good receiver in Davante Adams, so you have to pay him extra attention. Luckily, you have a really good corner in Jalen Ramsey, but when you shift, this now means that Ramsey is no longer covering Davante Adams. Look, so when you see at this point, everyone does shuffle down, and this is just, I don't think this is the correct decision. I don't think they should have done this here, because now, two big things. The first of which is you're kind of wasting Jalen Ramsey on Joshua DeGuara, who, okay, he's a fine tight end, but he's not someone you would want Jalen Ramsey to be the guy covering. And obviously, the bigger issue is you have Dante Deaton here, who is now going to be covering Davante Adams, that's a bad matchup. That's just not a situation you want to have happen. Look, right when this play begins, you're going to see that Adams just easily gets open, as you would expect. Ramsey even kind of knew it and was trying to get over there, but that's a tough situation, especially with a single safety deep. So good job by Green Bay doing this stuff, taking advantage. But I would also say for the Rams, like, you got to understand your personnel, and you can't be switching there. I mean, Ramsey has to say, no, I'm covering Adams no matter what on that play when there's only a single safety deep. Also, stuff like this I thought was really good. This was great stuff of just taking advantage of what you know you're probably going up against. On this play, it's going to be a cover 3 zone, although this can work against, quarters coverage or cover 2, which the Rams also will run a lot, but ideally, this is actually the perfect situation is going to be against this type of coverage. So obviously, it's a 4th down and 2, and the way Rodgers is going to run this play is the first read on this one is to hit his halfback, but that doesn't mean he has to hit the halfback on this play. Davante Adams probably will take some extra attention, so you want to throw the ball to the halfback if he's open, but basically what's going to end up making the read is, well, let's just get into it. Look how when Rodgers takes the snap, you see that Adams starts to cut over the middle, but I'm pointing towards a Rams player who's kind of paying attention to the halfback in the flat and can run out and make the play. Now, you might say, well, doesn't that clear up his gap where Adams currently is? Yes, but then there's another thing you can do about it. That LA player now covers Adams, and now Adams has been covered up. So that's what you're doing. But this now leaves DeGuara open on this play. That's how this concept is all designed to work. Again, there's a linebacker who could run over and try and make the play, who's further to DeGuara's right, but he's far away. So this is a good situation right here. Rodgers makes the read very quickly, gets it over to DeGuara. I'm not even sure if he looked. He just sort of said, I'm firing it there, because it's 4th down. Get the ball there. You don't have more time, and if it ends up getting covered up, then it's incomplete anyways. So good job getting through your progressions, and good play call by LaFleur. It's the exact play call to beat the coverage you were going up against, and obviously you don't know at the time what you're going up against, so good job on that play call of guessing correctly. Also, a lot of what Green Bay has been able to do so successful so far in this I think in this season, and honestly last season and in several seasons, is, kind of the thing that's been fascinating about 2021 is it's the year of the two safety deep coverages. And on this play, there's not two safety deep coverages, but it's the same kind of idea of taking underneath stuff against zone coverage. The way it works is it's a cover 3 zone blitz on this one, and you have two receivers who run deep with the halfback who's just going to run underneath A.J. Dillon. That's what you do here. And watch, you're going to see right when this play begins that Rodgers is getting ready to hit Dillon, and you see just how far back the LA Rams players are. So that's what you want to do. And yes, this is good on Rodgers of making the correct read, but it's also going to be good with A.J. Dillon. Look, he's going to hit Dillon, and Dillon's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. And quite frankly, I think it's fair to say at this point, who is the Packers running back one? And it's one of those, it's a good problem to have. You have two starting caliber running backs and two very good starting caliber running backs, but A.J. Dillon absolutely is a starting caliber running back. He's playing really good football, and he showed it there. Also, I got to talk about this play a little bit. This one went kind of viral. It was an incredible throw, so let's get into it. It's going to be a cover 3 zone, but what's fascinating about this play is kind of how far off and how soft the Rams are going to play. It's actually a good job by them because it's going to work out. You typically would think on a 3rd and 4, you don't play that soft, but they are going to. The route I've highlighted is going to be Randall Cobb's route, which is a route that can work against this type of coverage. However, watch how when, Rodgers takes a snap, he's looking there the entire way. And part of why they can play off a little bit is because they know there's no threat of the run, so that's a factor. But because the fact that they are playing off, this throw is a lot more difficult. Like typically the way you make this throw is you run a play action or something that gets linebackers to move in, and you can throw over the top of them a lot easier. Really, Rodgers is in a tough spot where he throws it too low, it's an interception. You have to throw it relatively high. But look at how he puts it in a perfect spot where Cobb can make the catch while on the run. He makes a safety miss. I have to pause it just for a second for copyright reasons, but I will play it again in a second. And you see how Cobb is going to be able to get the ball all the way inside the 15-yard line right there. Just an incredible play, incredible throw. I mean, that accuracy is still elite, and that's a big part of why the Packers are able to consistently move the ball down the field the way they can. So yeah, I mean, big win for the Packers. They continue to answer the bell. Now 9-3, which, they're having a lot of success, and their schedule gets a little bit easier after this spot. So they have a real shot at that number 1 seed. They really do, which we all know is very important now that there's only one bye per conference. So yeah, I thought that A.J. Dillon played very well as well. We should probably give him a shout out. But yeah, that's what I thought of this game. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the Packers and all of this stuff? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.